Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Super Robot Wars Z2.1 Hakai-Hen. In the last part we beat up a Heterodyne, the enemy of Dai-Guard, and then Baron Ashura showed up in a double SM2 along with a bunch more Talos statues, which we then proceeded to beat the crap out of as well. And so yeah, unfortunately there's not going to be a lot of combat in this episode because the chapter is pretty much over. I am, however, going to allow Akagi one more chance to defeat something. He might make it. If he doesn't manage to take this thing out, then so be it. Oh well. We'll have to see. If he doesn't manage it, then it doesn't really matter too much. But hey, we'll have to see. Yay, got a crit, nice. Bye bye, Talos statue, hooray. And he gets a level from it, awesome. So he's level 7, gaining weird stats. And no SP, which is annoying. Anyway, so now, Kouji with Sayaka's cheer can come down here and blast this thing to bits with a breast fire. Go for it, Kouji. Do it. Blah. Giant laser. Blah. Yay. Bye, Mechabeast, double SM2. And we get the propellant tank that we didn't get last chapter. So it didn't actually matter which I destroyed last chapter, because you get both. Because you have to defeat both, just on separate chapters for some reason. Anyway, Kouji got 2 levels from that, and he got the Spirit Excel, which gives him +3 movement for a turn, which is awesome. For some reason, he didn't get melee on that level, which is kind of weird, on either of those levels. Anyway, also SR point has been achieved. So, Ashura's absolutely shocked by having his Mechabeast having been defeated, and Kouji is absolutely happy to beat him up. But Uncle Kouji is not happy with him doing that because he's still kind of in trouble for having a giant robot without permission. What kind of aren't that many there aren't that many video games that let you say that sentence. Anyway, Dan Kuga's left. Crow and Akagi are cheering Kouji up after having, you know, for letting him know that he saved the city, basically. And yeah, here we are. Celestial beings arrived, all 4 of them this time. And yeah, cool. The Celestial Being Gundams are here, and they're having a chat about basically they've agreed to let Kouji and Crow go for the moment, because Mazinger is a machine specifically designed to fight against Dr. Hell, who is a megalomaniac, and the blaster is Axion. Is Axion's, and it isn't currently being used for evil. So they're kind of just letting it go for some reason. Thierry is, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Crow's getting kind of fed up with Japan, with the Japanese government, like treating him like a criminal, basically. However, I'm going to be picking the top option here, which is remain in Japan with Kouji. So that's basically our second route split. This is a route split within a route split. There's another one on the other route as well. Yeah, so, yeah, cool. Anyway, yeah, so Crow in this particular playthrough has decided to stay with Kouji on the further Japan route, as it were. And yeah, here we are in Dragon's Hive, also known as the, well, an unknown location. And we've got Commander Tanaka here, speaking to somebody who basically no one will know if you haven't watched Dankuga Nova, and so I won't be spoiling him. But, suffice to say, he's an interesting person. He is an interesting character, and yeah, they're talking about they're talking about how the samples that Dankuga has brought back, they're still not good enough, and they need to hurry up in finding whatever it is they were looking for to complete Dankuga Nova. So yeah, that's ominous to say the least. Meanwhile, in 21st Century HQ, Akagi's got a mountain of paperwork to deal with. I'm not surprised. And yeah, it's basically been agreed that everyone thinks that it's his fault. Yeah, it's his fault for having gone so nuts with Dai-Guard, despite the fact that it had no armor or equipment. Even though he saved most of the city. Yeah, so it's not a lot that's going on that's particularly important here, I'm afraid, and I don't have sadly I don't have the details. I just have an overall script, as it were. This is a fairly standard outcome in Super Robot Wars translations, unfortunately. There's no such thing as a full text translation for the vast majority of these these games. Sorry. Anyway, turns out Akagi's found out that his section chief Osugi has been called up to the board to talk about the situation. And yeah. The UN has got them on board. The CEO has gotten the UN to get on board with some kind of project, and Osugi will be responsible. And I don't really know very much about it because I've never watched Dai-Guard, I'm afraid. Oh yeah. Also, apparently, this woman is Akagi's cousin, which is interesting. I don't know whether that's important. I've no idea, I'm afraid. Anyway, cool. And finally, this part of the chapter depends. The outcome of this the scene in this part of the chapter depends on whether or not Crow sticks with Kouji or leaves with Celestial Being. And seeing as we stuck with Kouji, then Crow gets thrown back into prison, and Uncle Kouji is keeping an eye on him. However, a few people have come to talk to him again, including this man, Otsuka, and he wants Crow as a pilot in the special. So it's he wants Crow as a pilot in the special squadron that he's putting together. So basically, he doesn't. I don't think Crow has a huge amount of choice, to be honest. Anyway, doesn't really matter. In the other route, by the way, Crow gets back onto his shuttle and heads towards Celestial Being. Talks to Trier and then his shuttle gets shot down by Celestial Being and he gets captured. And that's really it, to be honest. So, yeah. So, chapter 4 of the Japan route is now over. So let's just do our menu stuff. Kouji still doesn't have enough PP to do anything, and that's not a huge surprise, all things considered. So Akagi's here. Now let's have a look at the Dai-Guard. That oh no, it still has paper for armor. Amazing, great. That's just brilliant. That is just fantastic. On the other hand, it has some more PP than the normal. As I said, Akagi gets 3 PP every time he levels up, every time he gets a total of 10 kills, and every time he finishes a map. So, seeing as he leveled up twice, he got 6 PP from leveling up and 3 for finishing a map while he was on it, as it were. He is going to be probably one of the first to get to a high, to get to a lot of the skills that he needs, and he most definitely needs guard, probably bullet save, and killer move, and he'll probably, or I might swap guard for limit break, because Akagi really helped. Like, limit break really helps you to give your units damage output, huge damage output. It really does. Once you get to the required will, that is, of course. But you know, boosting your max will boosting your max will to 170 means an extra 20% damage and 20% reduction to damage that your opponents cannot beat without also having limit break. So that's a big deal. Anyway, we also have our propellant tank, which Kouji is almost certainly going to take, because he needs that far more than anybody else in this team. And as for Dai-Guard, doesn't have problems on land, so even Dai-Guard can't take advantage of the land module that we picked up last chapter, sadly. Anyway, I don't even know whether it's worth spending money on this thing, to be honest. Right now, I mean, it's definitely worth putting some points into accuracy, and I'll put points into defense, but I don't know if it's actually going to be any good, to be useful, sadly. So I guess I'll put a couple more points into the blaster. And more HP, armor, and some weapon. No, take the armor off. More HP and some more weapon damage onto our Mazinger. Because obviously, this thing, the Mazinger is going to be around for a long time. And I guess we'll give Sayaka a little more HP as well. Anyway, that'll do for now. I'm going to see you guys next time when we begin Chapter 3 of the non-Japan route. Also, here's the other save that I made. This is the central route of the route split. I'll talk about it after we get to the route split on the other route. Excuse me. So, let's get on with this, shall we? Yeah, I will see you guys next time when we start Chapter 3 of the Celestial Being route. Goodbye, everybody.